Friday, ladies and gentlemen, this six-figure dividend stock portfolio is pushing into all-time highs, and I hope yours is as well. We're going to head over to the computer and break all of this down for you, but before we do, I want to remind you guys that the reason I act like a fool, like I'm having some fun up here, it doesn't matter who you are, what you do, or where you live, whether you're wearing your pajamas or whether you're wearing a suit. You don't need to hire some fancy guy behind a desk at a financial advising firm to do this for you. You guys can literally do this from home yourself, because this is passive income and you can make this money while you sleep. So let's just jump right into this, guys. Alrighty, welcome back, my passive income investors alike. We're taking a look at not only all the four accounts, we're going to analyze Johnson & Johnson earnings, and we're going to check out all the basic stock forums to see the insanity that is the market today, pushing into all-time highs. Is my account sits roughly at $116,200 plus dollars, and it's still going up. It hasn't stopped, and it's because of all the negativity in the news. You can't stop earnings, and Johnson & Johnson is a tale of many of horrid stories of suing and lawsuits and mismanaging billions of dollars in the opioid crisis. But still, nonetheless, I do hold a little bit of Johnson & Johnson in my managed account. It's not in the green, even based on this news. I have an average buy of 130, and it only sits at 133, but with the conversion rates and all the BS, I'm still down $15 on this position, this measly $2,600 position in my portfolio. But my goodness, oh my goodness. Did they ever crush earnings? With an expected 201 per share, they ended up with $2.12, which is quite incredible. Even on revenue, they finished at 2073 versus 2007 billion expected, which is a whole different ball game, which means they're not doing bad at all, which kind of continues to put them on a fair valued perspective from a buying standpoint. And I do plan on buying more at some point. But moving into some other news, guys, I'm not going to go over all the positions right now. All these top holdings are my holdings in this specific watch list on StockTwits here, guys. But taking a quick peek at some big news today was Afria also beat earnings. If we're talking the cannabinoid companies here, where's APH? There it is. So they're up 24% because apparently they did fairly good on revenues as well. I haven't exactly looked it up, but that's another fun one to keep an eye out on. But yeah, overall, the markets have just been flipping around today. Like the volatility in the markets, this is kind of like a reminder of there's only a handful of times that the market does excessively well, and you have to be in the market for times like this to capture these moments, because it seems like the market does flatline, it goes down, it's bearish for the longest time. Like, we haven't seen much in the market. Like, even if we look at the basic indexes here, like, can we find like a Vanguard index? So let's just think of something like a VOO as an example here. So say you only buy index funds to be safe, okay? Let's just take a quick peek at the index funds here, okay? That is not all. I don't know if we want to. I wish we could see something a little bit closer, but let's take a look. So from basically 28, you know what I'm going to do to make this a little easier? Let's just go over to the Google and go VOO stock, because this is going to help you out a little bit, okay? So this is the basic Vanguard index fund that you could buy into, and I just want to show you that basically from 2018, if you were buying near the peaks, you literally wouldn't have seen a rate of return for just about almost a year and a half, 2 years. So could you imagine, even if we go to 2019 here, just midway, you would have saw negativity if you bought from the very top. So for literally over a year and a half, you haven't seen any gains, any returns, anything until now. So things are really starting to pop up. So it's crazy to think that you can only be in the market for these moments to capture those capital gains, or at least do what they call cost averaging. So if you were buying these top dips up here, I hope you were buying down here as well, because then you're going to get a cost average that's going to help push you into a weighting that's going to give you some rate of return over time. But my goodness, this is such an incredible day in the markets, which is usually a good sign to sell, because usually these pops come with big sell-offs the next day. So we'll see what tomorrow brings, but that photo definitely helps admire that. There's just so much going on here. Let's just keep scrolling through, and then we'll take a look at the portfolio itself. Microsoft pushing all-time highs, Apple pushing all-time highs, the Canadian banks are coming back. The utilities are the only thing in my portfolio that aren't doing well today. GEO, prison stocks coming back with a vengeance. The volatility of this one's been wild the last couple days. Even if we look at the 1 week chart here, we can see we've gone all the way from 14.80 up $1.50, like 15% movements. To Sin stocks even coming back a lot today. Starbucks not doing too well. Marijuana markets. I was surprised that the REITs, a lot of the REITs went from red to green today, which is kind of interesting. I'm going to start purchasing some positions in these guys very soon, so it'll be nice to see them come back down. What else has we got going on in here? Pretty much anything. If you are not in the green today, you are doing something wrong, my friends. This is one of those special days where everything is like Christmas came early. My tax-free savings account, even from yesterday's video that I made, is pushing well into all-time highs. We have some great dividend payments coming in this month, so this is absolutely incredible. We can see we're now green on Bank of Nova Scotia. MO is starting to push back toward the green. We're not down too much on this anymore. GEO is starting to only be the worst one in this portfolio, being down 29%. But even still, overall, guys, the portfolio is just utterly crushing it today, which is unbelievable to see. In this account, even with this red account, my managed account that's doing horribly, like I said, surprise Johnson & Johnson hasn't come back in the green yet. But this is the first time we're starting to see any real green in the Canadian index version of the Vanguard 500 index fund. So we're up $10 on that one, which, like I said, it's fun to watch this and it feels great. It feels like the 4th of July or Canada Day, of fireworks just going off everywhere. But at the same time, it would be really nice to see a pullback, because I have some dividends. I'm going to be doing some managing, and it'd be nice to see things continue to be in the red. This is what is making it so hard for me to do this big transfer I keep talking about in my managed account, because I want to move these positions into my RSP. But if I did that yesterday over today, man, it would have sucked, because everything's pushing up a lot. This is why it's so hard to want to move money around, because it's just, there's so much volatility, and if you catch it on the wrong end, you're going to end up losing money trying to buy back shares that you're selling out of nonetheless. But yeah, it's just unreal. So I want to know what you guys think. What are you holding? And let me know in the comment section below. What are your green stocks today? Do you have any red stocks today? I'd love to hear about it, because this is just unfathomable, and it makes me feel giddy inside. It's good to know that even with some of the shittier positions I'm holding, that I'm still not a bad trader. Not that I trade, but for long-term passive income, I mean, that's the purpose of these portfolios. So it's nice to see that not only can we get capital gains out of this, but we can get an incredible 5% dividend yield on top of that. So just remember that, guys. I don't care what the equity aspect of this does, whether it's up or down. I'd prefer it just stay flat, to be honest, because I'm using this as a passive income portfolio. But think of it this way. Not only are we seeing some really good equity gains in this overall portfolio, we're also seeing a 5% dividend yield. So you can have the best of both worlds. And if this doesn't prove it to you, I don't know what does. But again, this is also happening without me contributing any money to the accounts. So I haven't actually added any money to this account in the last month and a half. It's literally just been going up on its own, considering at the beginning of the year we had some extreme volatility. The whole portfolio dropped to 104,000, and now we are peaking 116,000, and we might be heading into the 117, getting pretty close nonetheless. So it's a fun day. Hope you guys enjoy the markets. Stay cool. Stay awesome. I look forward to chatting to you guys real soon.